Okay, greetings and welcome. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of work on Wing Chun theory and how to train Wing Chun internally. Now, the main difference between a physical approach to Wing Chun and an internal approach is the way you do muscle and tendon changing. The way you activate the facial web of the body, the way you activate the biotensecurity of the body, and the way you release your muscles. This is really the external, the athletic approach to training. Internal, the fascia approach to training. Now, you can train the fascia and activate the biotensecurity athletically. So this internal-external wording isn't very accurate because it gives too many preconceptions. All we're basically doing is increasing the conductivity of force through our body by training and activating the fascia. Qigong exercises that teach you how to relax and let gravity pass through you, release the muscles, transfer load and tension onto the fascia. These are internal exercises. And this is how we can train Wing Chun internally by releasing our body in a certain way. So this exercise is the ground path model that we're going to go through next. Now the ground path model is basically you touch your hands together and place in front of your body. Now I want you to relax foot, ankle, calf, knee, hip. Drop the hip, stretch the spine, relax, release the shoulder, elbow and hand, and pull in and let everything sink and lower yourself in your stance as your hand comes towards the heart. And then from there, I want you just to drive the knee slightly forward and open the hip here and push out and stretch everything out. Then relax foot, ankle, calf, knee, hip, stretch the spine, pull everything in, sink, and then press the feet and push out. Now, when you're doing this push out, it's like everything sinks from the foot to the hand and goes down. Now our knee drives forward and our elbow has a drive forward as we decompress that force. The reason why we're not doing this is because it destabilizes the shoulder line. I want to keep the shoulder line stable so no tension arises in my shoulders and upper back. So you sink, foot, ankle, calf, knee, hip, drop the hip, stretch the spine, draw in, then lean your knee a little bit forward, open this qua, roll, lock your elbows and knees together so your body weight connects, and then depressurize and extend, push out and stretch. Now when you push out and stretch, what I want you to do is extend at least several meters and stretch your body out several meters in front of you. Now your mind is several meters in front. I want you to go to that point of connection, might be on the wall, might be on a tree, and pull that back. So you pull a stream through the air, through your body down into the ground as everything sinks. And then you lock your elbows and knees, pump, open the quads, and then drive this force out, back out into the trees, onto the wall, wherever you are. And then suck everything back in. So everything's sinking, and then everything's rising. Everything's sinking, and then everything's rising. Now when you're in the sinking phase, there's a sense of neutrality, there's a sense of groundedness, there's a sense of your partner can't touch your base because everything is going down with gravity into the ground. When I push my elbows and knees into the lock and open my hips and extend and stretch the energy out, everything becomes yang and radiates outwards. As it's radiating outwards, I'm in a vulnerable position. It's right at that point where I'm opening all my joints and stretching and pumping the energy out that my opponent can uproot me. There's a line of tension there. It's a very distinct hydraulic line of tension. As I go yin and I drop my whole body, everything sucks in, I'm in a very soft, relaxed sinking state, so my vulnerabilities all disappear. Now I'm hydraulically compressed down, I open the qua forward, I push my knee down and forward, and then I lock my elbows in and then stretch everything out into the distance. So this in and out action teaches you to sink and rise. to sink and rise. Sink and rise. Now the sinking quality and rising quality is very, very, very important in any internal martial arts development. It starts the process of separation of yin and yang in the body. Now we're making a whole body yang rising and then our body yin sinking. Now we can sink in the right hand side and go down one side and then open up on the other side of the body and bring energy out while we're sinking. So we can separate the yin and yang in the body and that'll form pivot. But this will become obvious once you've spent 10 or so 1 hour sessions just sinking down and rising up. This process of sinking down and rising up just opens up the awareness how to align to gravity and then how to expand the energy off gravity. Remembering the essential points that when you open, your knee drives forward, the quad opens, your elbows clamp with your knees and your elbow and knee alignment hydraulically presses off the ground, everything rises and the energy comes out. And then everything sinks. We start from the awareness of the foot, make sure there's a hollow in the arch, the 5 toes, the 2 balls, the blade and the heel, all those 9 points are well balanced, and center your weight around the kidney 1 point, just in the center line of the foot behind the ball. Keep the arch of the foot at the right angle so your ankle is perfectly aligned to the ground. Make sure the 2 triangles in the leg, the hip, knee, ankle, and the kidney 1 point, knee, ankle are on the same plane. So you don't want to pin your knees in, you'll wreck your knees. You don't want to push your knees out, you'll wreck your knees again. You want to make sure gravity is passing straight down that line into the ground. You have a nice clean access. The pelvis, a lot of people lock their hip forward. You don't want to do that because it makes your center rise up to your hip. You want your energy to drop to the ground. So this coccyx rolling under is incorrect. It makes you rise. It gives you a high center, and you don't want to have a high center because people are going to, if you lock forward, people can catch that tension, uproot you. They can break your structure through it. If you feel the hip and you move forward and backward and come to your place of power so it drops, now energy is going down, not forward. This is very, very important. This rotation also controls the Ming Men. So if you do a deadlift and you grab a heavy weight and then you roll your pelvis forward and backward, you'll find the perfect alignment for the inside of the lower back, and you can get that into the right place. The midpoint of the scapula needs to be not plucked up, but just rounded back slightly and the chest hollowed. Now, the reason why we do this is so that we get a rounding of the shoulder, that if we square, the shoulder disconnects our base. But if we hollow the chest slightly and round the back, now I've got a connection between my left and right hand, and I can move at a much more higher level of efficiency. The next thing to look at is how you hang the elbow, hang the wrist, soften the hand and activate the fascia through that stretch on the rise, and pull the joints open and sink on the sinking phase. The rising phase, all the joints expand, the whole body's connected, the whole body's expanding and rising simultaneously, and the whole body's relaxing and sinking simultaneously as we come in and out. Okay, so this is rising and sinking energy, and after about 10 hours or so of training this, you'll get a very profound feeling of dropping and yin sinking in your body, and you'll get the feeling of all the joints expanding from the center of joints and your mind extending. When you rise, it's very important that your awareness is extended, the feeling of energy is stretching out, and you're physically stretching all your joints open to extend to that point of awareness. The 3 dantians must open. The mental space opens, the feeling space opens, and the body joint space opens on the rising. Everything pulls in and sinks into the emptiness underneath your feet and in the ground as you sink down. And then it goes yang and expands. This yin-yang relationship is very important. There's a contrast in the mind that you can catch this idea of sinking and rising. Okay, thank you for your time, and I will see you on the next video.